I just want to say I actually curled my hair for you today, but it's raining in New York City. In the words of my New York husband, it is what it is. I don't know what this is, but it's for you. Today I want to talk to you about anti-trends. I thought about recording a video of like my favorite things for 2024, but my favorite things for 2024 are not trends. They're classic, charming home characteristics that you can incorporate into your decor or into your home design. Again, we're exploring the anti-trends. These are things that are classic, these are timeless, these are ways that you can work with any budget, any style, but it's about adding character and charm to your home. So let's jump into it. My absolute favorite thing that you could do in your home to add charm, to add character, to add interest, not only for your guests, but just for your own personal sort of improvement and adding a bit of culture into your home, is to create a home library. It could be in a small corner or portion of a room. It can be, I've seen some beautiful libraries in very long hallways. It's a great way to use like that long space in a hallway. Gosh, if you have the luxury of having an entire room, I mean, what a space. That is kind of one of my dreams, is when we renovate the home, I want to convert one of the smaller bedrooms into a full library with floor to ceiling bookcases full of books, full of art objects, just like a room that kind of breeds culture, it breeds intellect, it's inspiring, it makes you feel sophisticated, and it shows your guests like your interest. Let me set the scene for you. You're having a little dinner party, your guests come over, you're having a sip of wine, there's some great jazz playing, some very nice warm lighting throughout your home, and as your guests kind of mingle and move around, conversations start from books that are on the bookshelves. Conversations also start from artwork that's on the walls. I would say the majority of people feel an emotional connection to a piece before they invest in it. And that's what my advice would be to you. Whether it is a very inexpensive piece, like a work on paper, or maybe it's just a print that you buy on Etsy, doesn't matter. Make sure you feel an emotional connection to it. That's how you know that it is for you. That's how you know it's not just buying this like cheap, trendy art that you'll get bored with or tired of. Find the artwork that speaks to your soul, and you'll always love it. I love a window wall. I feel like I don't see these enough in interior design. I have spent time in England, I've spent time in France, and lived in an apartment in Paris, and I feel like these are things that I saw regularly in those spaces. Sometimes it's a great way to allow light into a room where you want to maybe add an additional wall where there once wasn't one. Or it's just, to me, I feel like it's a great alternative to a wall. And what I like about that is it does let in light, but it creates interest and it creates depth for yourself and your guests when they're entering into your space. So adding these beautiful windowed walls, maybe in a kitchen to allow light in, like instead of having an open kitchen plan, you can opt for a windowed wall that kind of separates the kitchen from the dining area. So there is that kind of element of separation, yet at the same time, it still maintains that like airy flow that we like so much about an open concept. Feeling really smart with my glasses on today. So intelligent, so Upper East Side. I've got my silk blouse on and my jacket. I just feel very Upper East Side. For this downtown girl, I'm very, very sophisticated today. Not really. Let's get back to it. Something else that I think just adds charm and adds warmth to your home, and a lot of these things I'm adopting from things that I've seen in Europe and on my travels, are these sort of draped, or these door drapes / door curtains. And in the winter time, you can incorporate a heavier one, something that is maybe velvet lined in like a linen, so that way you're getting a little bit more of that protection from drafts coming through the door. But I love the way these look. And if your home is a little more neutral, or if it is perhaps it doesn't have pattern and you want to inject some kind of pattern, some kind of movement, this would be a great way to do it. You could always change these out, but I love the incorporation of these door drapes. I just think they're so charming. They're so warm. I mean, it feels very English countryside. It feels very French countryside. It just feels very European to incorporate these things. A lot of these older homes are very drafty.
I could speak from personal experience with our home in the country. We added this curtain to the door in the living room. It goes out to our garden, and it's helped immensely keep the draft down.
In the summertime, you can easily change this out for linen or cotton, or something a little more sheer. Just imagine the breeze in the summertime flowing through this beautiful linen curtain. Sounds heavenly. So you could change these out. And like, if you see these rooms and you just imagine what they would look like without the drape or the curtain over the door, you can see that that fabric really does add a lot of character, a lot of warmth. It feels homey. It feels charming. While I do appreciate the gallery wall, it's a bit more of a commitment in how you hang that work, because you're actually nailing it into your wall. But with a picture frame wall, like with an art wall, with an art shelf, you can then kind of change it out. You can curate certain things. I think it would be a really fun way to incorporate an activity with your family or your partner to start changing it out. Like maybe every season you change out the artwork and the photos to something that you guys have worked on, like kind of curating and putting together. And then you've got this little show on display on your art shelves. I just think that's such a fun activity. And again, it's another way to create charm, to add character to your home. Very timeless, like incorporating this kind of thing into your design. And I would imagine it'd be fairly inexpensive, because you can buy these shelves. They're not very expensive. I saw some on Amazon where you actually get 2 of them together. I'll include the link here. You could also make your own if you're handy and DIY like that. I'm not really that great at that, but I will probably be buying the ones on Amazon. The other idea is and this is so much fun, but I'd like to see you get creative with how you showcase your photography. And in fact, I would like to see more photography in homes, period. We have been using a lot of paintings, a lot of abstractions, like what you see behind me, a lot of portraits. You're seeing that when it comes to paintings and prints of paintings. But what I'd like to see more of are some more photographs, some more photography. Photography has kind of taken a back seat for a little while, and I think it's time to bring photography back. I don't think photography is like a trend at all, and I've always had a very soft spot for photography. It's been something that's always been important to me. And then capturing those memories and those images, with iPhones now, we take a lot of pictures. Do we ever print them out? There are services now that will actually print out your photos on your phone. So there's no excuse. Get those photos printed, get creative about it. One of my favorite ways of creative photography is compiling several of these photo booth photographs. I'd like to also see you get a little more creative with how you're framing your photography. Like, for example, what is behind us? That's a very classic way of framing artwork. So this is what you would find in an art gallery. I think this is great, but I also like the idea of injecting some unexpected ways of framing things. I think The way that we add charm into our home, the way that we add character, is by injecting some of the unexpected. And where does that come from? That doesn't come from trends, that comes from you. So injecting your interest. Like, for example, I love the idea of framing your grandmother's recipe for pecan pie, or an old piece of ephemera that's significant to you, that's significant to your family. We have the actual blueprints of our home that I plan to have framed and incorporate those into my decor. Whatever you can frame, whatever you can find that is unique to your history and display that, I think that's going to add more character and more charm to your home. And if you're someone who likes to entertain like I do, it's not just about your experience, but it's the experience that people feel when they come into your home. And then you get pleasure from that. So there's something very special about creating that charm and that character that your guests come in and they experience, and they will remember your home. They will remember how they felt inside of your home. They'll think, wow, I wish our home had that character, that personality. There's something about it, that je ne sais quoi. There's my little bit of French, but that sort of something that they can't put their finger on, but really it's you that has been injected into the decor and the interior design. I just want to take a moment to thank you for watching this video. And if you're vibing with me and you're getting a good feeling from the information that I'm sharing, please subscribe. If any of this is inspiring you with words and you want to share them with me, I'd love to see it in the comments. I read every single comment that comes through. Thank you for being here. I hope to continue to provide you with a source of inspiration and just bring you a good feeling when we connect on these videos. So thank you. I love the shutters, the shutters. Okay, I know I say I love a lot, but these are things that I really do love. I appreciate using indoor shutters. I just think it has this kind of old European sort of worldly feeling when you incorporate those inside of your house. Again, it's about adding the unexpected. And I think that makes your home memorable and it makes a more interesting experience for you. If you were to work with an interior designer or a decorator, like a professional designer or decorator, they're going to learn about you. They're going to learn about your interests. They're going to look at the clothing that you wear in your closets. What colors do you gravitate towards? Do you gravitate towards pattern? What kind of fabrics do you gravitate towards? They're going to look at your home and the architecture. They're going to understand the history of the home. They're going to look at your surroundings. So there's a lot of things that professional designers and decorators will take into consideration as they custom tailor a home design and the decor to you. When we watch videos on YouTube, it's really fun to get that inspiration, but to really create something that is you, you need to actually spend time to kind of think about who you are and how you want to live and what you want to communicate, not just to yourself, but to any guests that come over. So by taking time to consider the way that you design it, the way that you decorate it, to create a space that truly feels like you, will help you in the process to being more authentically you. When we tap into our authenticity, we tap into a wealth of intuitive wisdom. And that's my personal philosophy in life, if I'm just going to throw a little bit of that in. So it's things that stimulate your own creativity, that stimulate inspiration, that add charm, that add warmth and character to your home. These things are timeless. These are not trend-based things. Until next week, sending you so much love from New York.